Tonight, the license plate dispute between Alberta and Saskatchewan is over.
This is Newcap News with Brian Lentz.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Well, it's good news for Lloydminster construction companies. Saskatchewan has rescinded its decision to ban Alberta license plates from construction sites. Implemented in December, the Alberta government filed a complaint against the ban with the New West Partnership, a trade agreement between the four western provinces. Saskatchewan could have been fined up to $5 million if it was found to have violated that agreement. Today was the last day before the license plate dispute went to binding arbitration. The Lloydminster and District SPCA is reminding local pet owners of the requirement of a license for our furry friends. A pet license is a way to identify animals with a unique number and tag. It is a requirement in the city of Lloydminster to have a pet license for dogs and cats.
And if your pet ends up being lost and is brought either to the SPCA, or if a peace officer comes across your animal and it has the license, it's easier for us to know who the pet belongs to and be able to contact the owner and get them reunited and get them back home. And that's really the most important thing for us here at the SPCA, is to make sure that we're reuniting families as quick as possible.
While the licenses are mandatory, Punchon also recommends other pet identification tools.
Yeah, absolutely. It is quite effective. I mean, certainly in conjunction with a license, any additional ID, whether that's a tattoo or microchip, and certainly microchips are the most popular way of identifying your animal too. So with the more that they have on them, the easier it is for us to reunite them with their owners.
Last year, only an estimated 2% of the cat population in Lloydminster had a license. Licenses for cats and dogs range from $20 to $60. For more information, contact the SPCA. Well, a local charity is helping achieve world understanding through humanitarian and educational programs. The Rotary Club met to promote its foundation and explain how the charity makes an impact both close to home and around the world.
Rotary clubs are attempting to make a world a better place, whether it's in the local community here in Lloydminster or in another country, just to give people a hand up to have a better quality of life.
In the 2016-17 year, the Rotary Club of Lloydminster received 113% of their expected donations.
This Lloydminster Club had a goal of $10,000, exceeded it by a fair amount, and so that just means more money into the foundation.
McCutcheon plans on visiting each of the 57 Rotary clubs within his district and sharing the message of what they can accomplish with a donation of just a few dollars. The history of Lloydminster goes back well over 100 years, but it wasn't until the relatively recent past that preserving that history has become a priority. We see in this week's edition of Retrospect when those discussions began and how far the community has come in saving local memories.
The Lloydminster District Centennial Commemorative Association held their monthly meeting Monday night. The group was founded in 1994. One of their goals is starting up an archives facility in the border city.
I think every little bit of time adds more interest and more people get involved. We're finally starting to get the archives off the ground. A lot of people didn't have too much interest in an archives or didn't really know what an archives was. But now they are seeing the need for preserving our history.
That recognition resulted in the Lloydminster Regional Archives being created in 2003.
It's really easy for the history to get lost. People's memories start to fail. Information gets thrown out. It doesn't get recorded, and then it does get recorded, and then it's thrown out.
Originally located in the Atrium Centre, the archives have since moved to the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre due to the sheer volume of history being collected.
In our collection, I would say we have in the thousands as far as acquisitions.
We're already starting to push the edges because people are realizing that there is a place that they can donate their history stuff. Family histories, photographic history, area history.
And thanks to the support of the city, grants, and tireless volunteers, the history of Lloydminster will continue to be preserved. That's all for Retrospect.
This is Newcap Sports.
Over the past few seasons, the Lloydminster Bandits have been a bright spot for the Border City's junior hockey scene. But after a recent losing streak, the team is desperately trying to work its way back into the top 4 spots in the standings. As Lance Phillips explains, Sunday's game went a long way in solidifying their position.
Sunday afternoon provided another example of what the Bandits are capable of with a 4-2 win over the Frog Lake Thunderbirds, a team that's been a tough opponent for Lloydminster. Another great performance from netminder Danton Brooks, and 6 different players recording points showed what a balanced attack the Bandits are capable of bringing.
I thought we just worked hard, man, and we played our systems to a T, right? Our guys stayed with it, even when they beat them or whatever, right? Frog, they would rebound and set up the same way the next time and stuff them, right? Like we were resilient today.
Entering Sunday, the Thunderbirds had earned wins in 5 straight games against Lloydminster dating back to last season's playoffs, when Frog Lake eliminated the Bandits 4-1.
Feels really good. You can definitely feel the rivalry brewing from last year, even not being here. You know exactly what happened, and it feels really good to beat them.
First game I played, we went to Frog there, and we lost in overtime, and I was out there for the overtime goal, so definitely felt nice to beat them this time around.
We owed them for sure. They're a good club though. We played well, man. It just shows what our team can do. They have probably 5 or 6 guys that could play junior A, and that makes a big difference.
After a 7-game losing streak, the Bandits have won 4 of 5. A good omen for the 6th-place team, who are 8 points behind Frog Lake for 3rd.
Whole team commitment, like everyone's working hard, everyone's doing the systems right. It's just all clicking right now, so it's perfect.
Well, we started getting everybody back, and that's made a big difference, being able to put 20 guys on the roster. And I don't care what anyone says, but when you play 14 guys for a few weeks, you're going to run into trouble eventually. And we went through a slide last year, and we did the same thing this year, and it's just the way it is in hockey. But we're looking at getting home ice for the playoffs and just keep working.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.